Alright, another attempt at doing this. I'll take care of it myself. I won't let any more of my friends die. As before, the Brown 2 workshop closes early. Mayuri appears as Suzuha and Mr. Brown are leaving. Alright, same situation as before. We run through Kanda Myojin's back streets to Ochanomizu station, taking only minimal precautions to avoid attracting attention. We have to get there before the subway line shuts down. We manage to make it to the station without being stopped, but when we get there, I see a group of men waiting by the entrance. They look like CERN. Change of plans. We turn around and head for the Shin Ochanomizu subway station. We arrive at the station later than I intended. I don't usually come here, so I got lost. I stare nervously at the platform clock. According to the scrolling display, the Yamanote, Keihin Tohoku, and Sobu lines have already suspended operations. Wait. It looks like the Chiyoda line has too. It must be protocol to assume that nearby stations may be threatened, even stations on unconnected lines. Yeah. Alright. Mayuri hasn't said a word about my strange behavior. Huh? This is the first time I've led her on this escape, but each time she follows me without complaint. Does she really trust me that much? Mayuri, are you gonna start acting weirder and weirder with each timeline? Is this gonna be a situation where you're becoming more and more aware of what is going on? Maybe she can feel my desperation. And that's why I want so badly to save her. Well, if that will be the case, it will be in our favor. Why is it happening? I don't know. But it will be in our advantage if she were, like, more and more aware of what is going on, and maybe eventually she's gonna offer her own bit to help us. We've been together for more than a decade. She's like a little sister to me. I'll leap as many times as it takes. Mayuri tilts her head quizzically. I realize that I'm staring at her.
おかり、マユシーは聞きたいこといっぱいあるけど、今は我慢しとくね。その代わり、終わったらね、全部聞かせてほしいです。
Oh, no doubt.
約束する。
Mayuri smiles happily at that answer. That's right. While we wait for a train, I should ask Mayuri about her whereabouts today. Yes. If I have to leap again, I'll need all the information I can get.
お前、ルカ子に会った後はどこに行っていた？
ふぶきちゃんからメールがあってね、マユシーのコスにちょっと問題発生しちゃってたのです。糸がほつれてるところがあったんだ。それを直しに。
ふぶきちゃんというのはどこに住んでいる？
Okay.
住んでるっていうかね、今ちょうど UPX のスタベまで来てたのです。
Starbucks. Okay, good. Starbucks at UPX, so that's where she was. Just then, an announcement plays over the PA system. The subway is resuming normal operations. About 20 minutes have passed since we arrived. I didn't expect to be stuck here that long, but it's okay. Right now, Moeka should be in Akihabara, heading to the lab. Everything is going to be alright. While waiting for the train, I examined the route map on the station's notice board. We can transfer to an overland train at Yoyogi Uehara. It will take a while, but that will take us all the way to Odawara. Another announcement. Our train is arriving. I can hear the rumbling and see the lights at the end of the tunnel. Mayuri and I are standing just behind the white line. I reach for her hand, meaning to make a dash for the train when the doors open, but I guess there's no hurry now. I let my hand fall to my side, empty. The roar comes closer. Again, like, I have to stress this. Like, escaping this is not a good idea as long as the time leap machine, and for that matter, the TV, are still, like, back home at the Rintaro's lab / Brown Tube workshop. Well, and certainly, if we were to manage to get through this, like, defeat the CERN's or at the very least today's attack and delay them somehow. Maybe there's a way for us to create like a portable time leap machine so that we can use it wherever we go. Because otherwise, if we fail, we have to go back to the time leap machine like back home and use it. So this is definitely not a favorable thing what we're doing right over here. We are learning new information like each time leap, but it's actually kind of a funny thing to kind of see how is this gonna fuck up in order for Rintaro to go back to the lab. Because for example right now, they're more than likely gonna stop us somehow. The question is how. Mayuri says something. I can't quite hear her over the stream. Suddenly Mayuri disappears.
Eh?
What? There she is, leaning out of her tracks. She's off balance, as if she stumbled, or someone pushed her. She seems to hang there for a moment, and then the train comes screaming into the station. I hear a sound from under the train. I can't describe it, but it makes me instantly nauseous. Sparks fly as the train slams on its brakes. The people on the platform scream. I turn to where Mayuri was just a moment ago. There stands a familiar girl. Tiny, adorable, a cute black rabbit pouch slung over her shoulder. It's Nai. I recognize her voice. She looks up at me. Her eyes are wide. Her lips tremble. She stares at me for a few more seconds, as if waiting for me to say something, then turns and runs away. Boy, the universe sure is a harsh mistress. Like, at this point, like, we don't even have to worry about CERN fucking up and making us, like, forcing us to time leap. Like, Mayuri dying by herself like that is more concerning, like, right now. Without the CERN's, like, intervention. Fuck! The platform is in chaos. The PA informs us that there has been a personal injury accident. Don't tell me that, like, as Rintaro has been playing God up until this point, the universe itself is having its revenge on Rintaro by having this preordained, destined, deadly fate for Mayuri no matter who is doing it, where she dies no matter what. And we would... Fuck. Don't tell me that we're gonna have no choice but to accept the death of Mayuri, no matter what happens. That would be fucked up. Nai is already gone. I don't go after her. Instead, I peek timidly through the gap between the train and the platform. One side of the track is a wash of red. My mind is blank. I can't think. I don't even remember how I got back to the lab. Maika's group should have come and gone. But the time leap machine is still here. I guess I should be grateful. It takes longer than usual to set up the machine. For some reason, I have trouble recalling my own phone number. Unless... Ah, fuck. Damn it. I don't know why this is happening, but it kind of makes you think. I get the feeling that Mayuri's death is a lot more important than we think. Like, in CERN's eyes, apparently. Huh. But okay, let's go through this let's do like time leap, and then I will say my thoughts. At last, it's ready. Now, take me back. Okay, now it's a lot earlier than before. The leap occurs instantaneously. Tyler claimed that his time machine takes 1 hour of subjective time to travel 10 years. I don't know if ours has the same behavior, but now is not the time to find out. 10 years. I have no business that far back. Besides, according to Kurisu, time leaping too far into the past could cause mental disorders due to the gap between personality and memory. I guess so, yeah. Otherwise, I did say that we could take like a couple of days off, but I guess it's best that we do it in increments of a couple of hours to, I guess, be safe about that. But okay, let me think. I guess, like, I don't know why this is the case, because initially it would make you think that, okay, they wanted to take Kurisu, Rintaro, and Daru with them, and they would kill Mayuri, because she doesn't really have that much to do with the time leap research, but at the same time they don't want like witnesses and such, so they would kill her off. But apparently the common denominator for why Moeka and CERN's men are not being as occupied with Rintaro and such, trying to capture him, like after Mayuri's death, is because apparently Mayuri's death is a lot more important than what I just said about her being a witness and all that. Apparently, for some reason, it may be that after Mayuri dies, CERN has a little bit more lenience. Now, I'm like, it could be more than likely that they're still gonna capture Rintaro, Kurisu, and Daru, like after Mayuri's death, but it's no longer as much of a you gotta rush the mission. Because once Mayuri dies, apparently they can take a little bit of time off, and maybe later down the road they would take her, like they would go after Rintaro. But I guess for some reason Mayuri's death is something that I had to prioritize as well. Like once that part of the mission is done, apparently, like it's weird. Like why would Mayuri's death make it so that the CERN are taking a step back versus the first timelines that we went through? Like, what makes Mayuri so special that part of the mission is to also have her die? Like, what changes in CERN's plans once Mayuri dies? Mayuri is singing her chicken song, though she's actually eating pre-cooked chicken from the convenience store instead of her usual juicy chicken #1. Unless it may be the opposite way around. Mayuri is important to them, where she has to die for some reason that I'm not even aware of, whereas it is Kurisu, Daru, and Rintaro. They are the ones who are witnesses, and they have to be taken away so that they would not talk about this. It's not important that they want to use the three of them, and Mayuri is a witness. It's Mayuri that is important to them, whereas the other three are more witnesses that they can just take away and, I don't know, imprison them somewhere / kill them somewhere else. They're not as important as Mayuri right over here. Why? Maybe we're gonna find out that she has some supernatural powers that are gonna help CERN in their time machine research. It's kind of like a theory that I had with one of my previous adventures. I'm not gonna say what adventure. Maybe some of you are gonna be able to guess what. And it is a theory that, while it was partially true, it didn't come true. in the sense that, oh, this person is gonna be important to this organization in like some research and such. They were important, but not in the way that I was thinking of. Maybe now it's gonna be the case. She had to switch because she can't warm up frozen chicken in the microwave, which is now a dedicated part of the time leap machine. I was right to come back 5 hours. Mayuri is still in the lab. But what the hell happened back there? It hurts, but I forced myself to recall that horrifying scene. Mayuri died again. This time, it happened at Shin Ochanomizu Station, a place completely unrelated to the lab or the bomb threat. Tenouji Nae pushed her onto the tracks, where the train tore her to shreds. Could Nae be working for CERN too? Nah. No, that can't be right. Nae has a habit of jumping on Mayuri and greeting. She's probably just being her usual affectionate self. But why did she choose that precise moment? I don't know. I sense malice. Whose malice? It's like fate is playing a cruel joke on us. It's God having their way with you, Rintaro. Saying, oh, so you're pretending to be me, right? You're pretending to be a god. Well, fuck you. Okay. Whatever the case, all that matters now is that I have another chance. I need to act. I have the power to save Mayuri. I will do whatever it takes to find a way. This time, we hail a taxi on Chuodori. It'll be expensive, but that hardly matters now. Mayuri comes along quietly. I consider taking her home to Ikebukuro, but Moeka's group might be watching her house. I have no idea where they are at this point in time. And the next second, the taxi is gonna get into a car crash and she is gonna die. Instead, I asked the driver to take us to Shinagawa. Now I'm gonna be expecting like all sorts of ways for Mayuri to die in fucked up ways. I'm waiting. However, the traffic is unusually heavy. The driver says it's never been this bad before. There must be an obstruction up ahead, an accident or something. That's the only explanation I can think of. We've made it out of Akiba, but at this rate, it'll take forever to reach Shinagawa. I considered getting off here and taking a train, but then I remember what happened at Shin Ochanomizu Station. I have a bad feeling about this. I mean, as long as you guys don't stay like near the tracks, I mean, Jesus. The traffic jam could be CERN's doing. I look out the window and scan the crowd for anyone who might be a CERN agent. 3 hours later, we're still oh my god. According to a conversation I overheard between our driver and another driver, there's some kind of inspection up ahead. Furthermore, it doesn't seem to be a police inspection, and a small fight broke out at the inspection site or something. There's gonna be like some random police guy that's gonna check our taxi, and they're gonna see Mayuri, and then suddenly, oh, they're gonna pull a gun out of their pocket, and they're gonna shoot her in the head. To make matters worse, this road has already been closed off, and all the cars behind us are being detoured. There are only about 100 cars waiting, but the inspection has been at a standstill for 3 hours. This can't be a coincidence. Once again, I feel the malice of fate manipulating the situation. You know, at this point, Rintaro, I would believe you. I would believe it that the universe is against us right now. It's no longer CERN. This is beyond CERN at this point. I mean, unless, again, CERN have like time powers where they are aware of other timelines, so they have every single plan, like, in motion for whatever Rintaro, for whatever action Rintaro is gonna take. Is Mayuri going to die again? If I'd known it was going to turn out like this, I'd have ditched the taxi 2 hours ago. Not 2 hours, but hours ago. It's not too late. I should pay the driver and get off right. Just then, someone knocks on the door on the window. Our taxi is stopped in the middle of the road. What's going on? I look over, but before I can say anything, a man opens on the rear door and gets in next to Mayuri. He's holding a knife. Another assassin. Okay, so it's not a police guy, but just a typical criminal. is gonna take the taxi. Before she can reply, the man covers Mayuri's mouth with a large, meaty hand. I try to open my door, but it's locked. Only the driver can open it from the inside. Mayuri opens her eyes wide. Her body twitches. It all happens too fast. The man sinks his knife into Mayuri's chest. A bright red spot stains her clothes. Another man gets into the passenger seat. He points a gun at the driver and says something to him. Strength drains from Mayuri's body. Her eyes slowly close. A tear rolls down her cheek. I watch her die inches away, powerless to stop it. I can feel her last breath against my skin. They killed her again. Why? Why? Why can't I save her? Why won't they let me save her? Who decided that Mayuri must die? Unless... Okay, like I'm thinking of some reason right over here. CERN is definitely prioritizing Mayuri's death. Maybe because they know that Mayuri dying is like the main factor that would definitely push Rintaro to keep time leaping like in the past over and over again. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe they are secretly doing like a fucked up research where they're using Rintaro as a lab rat in using the time leap machine to see how the time leap works. Wow. Imagine. Moeka? CERN? Or does the world itself wish for Mayuri's death? I won't accept that. I clench my jaw and throw myself forward, driving my forehead into the killer's nose. He falls back. I shout to the driver. I crawl out of the taxi and take off running through the traffic jam. After running for hours, I make it back to the lab. Luckily, the time leap machine is still there. I have to leap again. Let's go back in time. Alright, every time we run, Mayuri dies. 6 hours in the past, I clutch my head and rack my brain for an answer. I feel like I've hit a dead end. What do I do if we can't run away? Is there no way to save her? Mayuri's blank stare is the only answer I get. This time, I take her to the closest police station and beg them to protect her. When asked why, I explain that someone is going to kill Mayuri 6 hours from now. But without any proof that there's someone after her, they have no choice but to turn us away. Jesus. It's past 6 by the time we leave the station, and we're left with no choice but to keep running. I wish that I could blame my previous failures on bad luck. We could try Ochanomizu or Shinbashi again, and maybe this time she won't die. But I don't have the courage to try those routes again. At the same time, we can't stay in Akiba. We're running out of options. Now, the thing about what I said before about CERN purposefully making Mayuri die so that Rintaro would go through these time leaps, like on purpose to do research. It wouldn't really explain the timeline where Nae pushed Mayuri on the train station. It could be luck, like, oh, well, that's lucky on us. Nae did the job for us. Or it could be the opposite, where it could be the universe itself that's fucking with us. It's not necessarily that it's CERN who is controlling everything time-wise. Although, I don't know. Subways, trains, and taxis all out. Attempting escape by those means will get Mayuri killed. So my heart tells me. Perhaps the theory is irrational, but I can't put it out of my mind. I've seen her die a half-dozen times already. Shot, stabbed, torn to pieces. I can't go through that again. We take refuge in Yodobashi camera. I thought we could keep hiding there indefinitely, but just after 7 we hear an explosion in front of the station. Yodobashi goes into chaos. Policemen appear and start evacuating the store. When I try to explain our situation, an officer shouts, "Terrorist!" and pulls his gun. This can't be happening. This isn't America. Japanese police officers don't shoot without provocation. Mayuri dies. It happens so fast. The policeman shoots her right in the head. I don't know if he was a real policeman or a CERN assassin in disguise. It doesn't matter. I can't deny it any longer. The world itself is killing Mayuri. Alright. This time, I don't leap into action immediately. Instead, I sit on the couch and collect my thoughts. Every time I try to save Mayuri, it ends in the worst possible way. To make matters worse, I no longer even know what I'm supposed to be saving her from. Cause and effect. Why does Mayuri die? At first, I thought that it was Moeka and her hit squad, sent by CERN to steal our time machine. As I looked back in time and again, the cause of Mayuri's death kept changing. At Shinocha no Mizu station, she died because Naya pushed her off the platform. CERN had nothing to do with that. It was an accident. Each time I leap, she dies in a different way. What does that mean? I've been thinking for an hour, and I'm no closer to an answer. I want someone to tell me, but who can I ask? I am the only person in history to live through time. No. There is one more. John Tyler. But he is not replying to my emails anymore, and he hasn't posted on that channel in days. I'm not even convinced he's a real time traveler. I decide not to run this time. Instead, I take a different approach. Strike first, okay? I send Moeka an email. I need to talk to you about our time machine. Meet me alone. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Once again, there could be the idea that it's because she hasn't found like the IBM 5100, and thus this day happens. Now, if it's God / the universe that is trying to kill Mayuri, thus it would be like something outside of CERN's control, I don't know. But if we are to go with the idea that it is under CERN's control in some ways that I can't even understand, that it is CERN's mission right over here that would lead to Mayuri's death no matter what, if we were to tell them, hey, we found IBM 5100, even though we haven't found them, maybe it would delay, like, whatever CERN's mission is in all this, and thus, maybe it would delay Mayuri's death somehow, I don't know. It could be that if we were to play our cards right and maybe fool Moeka into thinking something otherwise, we would delay their mission, and maybe we could do something about it. I designate the roof of Maratkan as our meeting place. Okay, that's an interesting location. 2 weeks have passed since the satellite crashed, but it's still there, and the building's still closed. Yeah, that is another thing that really fucks with my mind. Though we had a timeline where this satellite suddenly disappeared. Weird. At least the security has lessened, so it's easy for me to sneak in. Not that there's any sneaking to do. I just walk in through the front door like I belong there. No one questions me. Last time I came here was for Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. Of course, on this roll line, the presentation was cancelled. Naturally, there's nobody here but me. It occurs to me that this is a dangerous gambit. Moeka might have a gun, and I already know that she's willing to use it. But then, I don't intend to play fair either. We're supposed to meet at 5:30. It's just after 5. I came early in order to ambush her. I hide in the shadows and wait with bated breath. About 30 minutes later, I hear the door open. Moeka makes her entrance, alone. She looks around restlessly. She still hasn't noticed me. I take a gun out of my shirt. It's not real. Oh. It's future gadget number 1, the bit particle gun. It's just a toy ray gun with a remote control attached. Obviously a bluff, but all I could prepare on such short notice. Alright, I ran up behind Mike and shoved the bit particle gun into her back.
動くな。両手を上げろ。
Just like a Hollywood movie. But this is that movie. This is real life. You die in movie, you die in real life. Okay. And she isn't an actress. She's a murderer. After Moeka raises her hands, I feel through her clothes. Sure enough, she's carrying a gun. I take it from her and press it to Moeka's back in place of the bit particle gun.
残念だったな。最初の銃はおもちゃだ。
You probably shouldn't have said that, Rintaro. Like, if I am to go with the theory that maybe CERN has this kind of power to read into other timelines and such, if this is a first, now it's no longer going to be a first next time. Maybe they are going to be aware that, oh, like if you were to do this same tactic, Moeka is going to be aware that it was just a toy gun, and she's going to fuck you up next times if you were to replay this. But hey, you know what? We shall see.
話を聞きたい。お前がセルンの資格であることは分かっている。
なぜ？
知りたいのか？知りたいのかよ！
My frustration and rage boil over. Because of her. Because of her, Mayuri.
俺はタイムマシンで未来から来た。冗談だと思っているのか？だが俺はすでに 4,5 回は同じ時間を繰り返してきた。
I've lost count of how many times exactly. And I haven't slept at all that entire time. Strangely, I'm not tired at all. Okay, so it is conclusive evidence that our energies like revert back to how they were initially whenever we time leap. That's good.
だからこれからお前たちが何をするかも知っている。7時過ぎに電車が止まる。爆破予告のせいでな。
Moeka gasps. So he was there doing.
お前と仲間たちが今日ラボを襲撃することも知っている。そこでお前がマユリを殺すこともだ。
私も
理解したか？俺がタイムリーパーだと。
Moeka nods faintly. I could kill her now. It would be easy. But no, I need information.
お前たちはセルンの何なんだ？
ラウンダー。
I'm sorry, what? Rounders? Are you people of the round table?
We're knights of the round table. Our shows are for mid-table. So many times we're given rhymes that are quite unseeable.
Okay, Moeka answers with surprising obedience. You know, I say that as a joke, but you know, a part of me thinks that it will be quite a fucked up joke from the story's perspective that they're actually like they consider themselves a part of the round table organization or some fucked up thing. And I say that because we had like some like a joke about our lab needing like a table in a similar fashion to the round table. We are the round table of time leapers or something like that I remember. Part of me remembers that kind of funny joke, a funny dialogue that we had. I guess she values her own life, even though she has no problem depriving other people of theirs.
ラウンダー。一体どういう組織なんだ？セルンとの関係性は？
メールで。
ダメだ。口頭で説明しろ。
ラウンダーはセルンとは別組織。
I'm sorry, what?
公には出てこない。 そういう扱い。
秘密の傭兵部隊か。
違う。IBN5100。その情報収集と回収のため。
Okay, I at least gleamed that a little bit. But why?
世界中に散らばってそれを集める。
Ah, so that's why you're called rounders. Because you go around the world in your missions. IPN 5100s. Separate from CERN. So you work with CERN. I assume that's right. When I met her, she was looking for an IBM 5100. These days, they're nearly impossible to find. People will pay millions just to own one. Is that because CERN has been hunting them down?
ラウンダーの規模は。答えろ。
知らない。末端だから。
So she's not important enough to be told. Yeah, part of me thinks that, like, she's not at the top of the food chain, as far as I can see.
俺が手に入れた IBN5100 を盗んだのもやはりお前だな。
Definitely not. Otherwise, I think that this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Look at this answer.
なぜ IBN5100 の情報を。ハッキング対策か。
機密保持。最も優先すべき事項だから。
Okay.
セルンの。
一体何が隠されている。タイムトラベルの人体実験やその実験で何百人と殺しているという情報は普通の PC でもハッキングで見ることができた。 IBN5100 で構築されたデータベースにはそれ以上の極秘情報があるというのか。
知らない。
末端だからか。
My tone is sarcastic, but Moeka nods. Damn, she's useless.
なぜラボを襲った。いやお前にとってはこれから襲うか。
分かっているはず。
セルンへのハッキングをしたからか。
理由は3つ。1つは知ったから。君たちが知ってはいけないこと。
So CERN didn't know about the hacking.
それとタイムマシン。君たちが作った。
They want our time machine. CERN must be trying to monopolize time travel technology. So that's really the only reason? Competition?
決定的だったのは君たちがそのタイムマシンを世間に公表しようとしたこと。
How does she know that? We made the decision right after the time machine was completed. That was only a few hours ago.
だから全員を拘束。
拘束。マユリを殺したではないか。
あの子は必要ない。
Is she unnecessary? Necessary. They pull the trigger. Like, again, a part of me doesn't believe that, but at the same time, like, maybe Mayuri's death is more of a universe thing than a CERN thing. I don't know.
タイムマシンを作ったのは君とマキセと橋田だから。あの子は殺しても構わない。そう言われた。
俺たちを拘束してどうするつもりだった。
セルンの施設に監禁してタイムマシン実用化の研究を。
Okay.
そうやってこれまでにもセルン以外のタイムマシン研究を潰してきたんじゃないか。
私は回収しろと言われただけ。
お前のことを一瞬でも仲間にした俺が間違いだった。
セルンのためすべて FP の命令すべ 何でもやる。FB の指示なら。
What is or who is FB? FB? Is that the name of our supervisor?
岡部君、君なの？ジョン・タイターは。
何？
Eh? John Tyler?
考えられない。君しか。
Me?
何をバカな。
I take the gun into Moika's back.
それより死にたくなかったら今すぐにお前の仲間とそれと FB とやらに連絡しろ。ラボ襲撃は中止だと。
Moika shakes her head.
そんな権限ない。
知ったことか。権限がなかろうが何とかするんだ。でないと殺す。
Honestly, Rentaro, I think that you're gonna have to find like a better bargaining chip for this. Because if I'm to be honest, like the higher-ups of CERN or Rounders, they might not care about the Moika's life, if I'm being honest, if their mission is that drastic. You're definitely gonna have to find like a better bargaining chip in order to delay their mission today. I'm not a killer. My hands are trembling, just like Moika's were before she shot Mayuri.
なんで殺したんだ。
She was hesitating. She didn't want to pull the trigger, but she did.
お前もあんなことしたくなかったんだろ。なのになんで。
It is good that Rintaro is questioning this. Like, he sees that Moeka didn't want it.
私は従うだけ。 FB に。
だったらその FB とかいうやつをここに連れてこい。
Moeka shakes her head again.
だからそっちの事情なんて知ったことじゃないと。
無理なの。 FB に会ったことは。
Something hard stabs into my back. Damn it! I chill runs through my body. There's someone behind me.
銃を捨てろ。
A man's voice. Is he Moeka?
汚いぞ。キリュウモエか。
I'm ready to pull the trigger in cold blood.
二人だけで会うと約束しただろ
Moeka doesn't answer.
う。いいから銃を捨てろ。タイムマシンは渡せ。だから誰も殺すな。
だとしても。
Even though I'm still pointing the gun at her, Moeka slips away and turns to face me. Her eyes are cold, her expression unreadable.
監禁して二度と出されない。
Moeka takes the gun from my hand. I'm unable to resist.
頼む。ハッキングのことを謝るから。誰も殺さないでくれ。
Something strikes the back of my head. My legs give out instantly, sending me to the ground. Darkness creeps in.
ターゲット B を確保。開始を頼む。
Deep down, I knew I can't save Mayuri. Even if Moeka's group doesn't kill her, someone or something else will. The world itself wants her dead. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Steins Gate? There is no such thing. Those words have no meaning. It's just some nonsense I made up to sound cool. Steins Gate doesn't exist. But fate does. Fate, God, the will of the universe, an absolute force that no one can resist. It exists, and it has sentenced Mayuri to death. I wake up in the back of a station wagon. The windows are coated with black film, so I can't tell where we are. I feel a throbbing pain in the back of my head. My hands are tied behind me. What time is it? How long have I been unconscious? There's a man with me inside the car. I I recognize him from a previous time leap. He's the one who stabbed Mayuri in the taxi. Okay, so I guess it is official that that person, like in that timeline, CERN was responsible, and I guess it is pretty obvious, but yeah, it is clear-cut evidence that that was CERN's, and not some like two random dudes that decided to take a random taxi cab, I guess. Cause it really doesn't really make sense, cause like a typical criminal would normally want to like take a taxi cab person like hostage to drive away, but there was like a lot of traffic there, so there was not much of a point for a typical criminal to use a taxi cab in that fashion unless they were trying to go after like these kids right over here. So yeah, makes sense they will be CERN. The man seems to notice I've woken up, but he doesn't speak. Now the question is that random police guy that fired like afterwards that shouted "terrorist" also like a part of CERN, or is that a cosmic coincidence freak out? He just waves his gun menacingly, as if to say that there's no hope of escape. The dashboard clock reads 7:30, the exact time as last time when Moeka and her posse of Knights of the Round Table joined in to threaten everybody and kill Mayuri in Rintaro's lab. I look out the window again. Through the film, I managed to make out the street sign. We are close to the lab. Has the attack already happened? Before I left, I told everyone, including Mayuri, to run. If she did as I said, she won't die by their hands. But that doesn't mean she's safe. So, what does this mean? Again, I have to ask, if we were to go back in time, how the fuck are we gonna be able to escape from this one, Rintaro? If I don't do something, Moeka's going to take the timely machine away. What would happen then? CERN can have the machine if it will save Mayuri. The problem is that it won't. Not when the world itself is determined to kill her. As long as the time machine remains in my hands, I can keep trying to fix things. I'll leap again and again until I find a way to save her. But if I lose the machine, then the future is decided. A future without Mayuri. I have to get to it before they do, even if I might get shot. As long as I survive to reach the timely machine, everything will be alright. My bound hands limit me to headbutts and kicks, but I somehow managed to knock down the man guarding me on escape. Oh, okay. Well, lucky us, not only were we able to escape like the car that easily, but we were close to our lab, so I guess that answers my question. My chest and neck are covered with blood. I must have been shot during the struggle, but thanks to the adrenaline pumping through my body, I barely feel any pain. I can still move, that's all that matters. I run up the stairs with my hands still tied. I can only pray that I'll be able to operate the timely machine quickly enough. Mayuri, Chris, and Daru are in the lab. So are Moeka and her men. When I open the door and burst in, everyone looks at me in surprise. Hey guys. Were we late to the night dance? When she sees my tattered body, Mayuri runs up to me with tears in her eyes. Wait! I try to stop her. In the corner of my eye, I see Moeka take aim at Mayuri. I try to put myself between them. I try to cover Mayuri with my body. But a man grabs me from behind and pulls me back. I watch, helpless, as Mayuri's tiny body drops to the floor. Her eyes, wide and wet with tears, seem to stare into mine. Damn it. But I can see that they have already lost their light. She's gone. Again. Again. Again! What happens next is the same as before. Suzuha defeats the Rounders, and Kurisu helps me time leap. So... Oh, okay, we're going back to 5 this time around. Okay. A flood of sound beats on my eardrums. When it subsides, I find myself again in the lab. It's just before 5. Now... 2 questions, Rintaro. 1. How do you feel right now, like after so many time leaps? Do you feel like any different? Does it become worse and worse? And second, what are you gonna do? Are you actually gonna try and attempt to talk to Moeka again and see if anything changes then? Because that might be something. If we were to go and confront the Moeka in similar fashion to last time, and they're gonna figure out, oh, you just have like a toy gun, then it would be clear-cut evidence that, oh, they clearly know. They must have something to read into timelines. But something tells me that Rintaro is not gonna do that. I have 2.5 hours before Ariakey dies. I find myself staring at the timing machine. This thing is the reason for Moeka's attack. If only we had never built a phone wave. If only we had never sent those emails. Perhaps the future might be different, instead of the nightmare it promises now. Would anything change if I broke it? Just smashed it to pieces right here? In a rush of delirium, I grab a chair and lift it high over my head. Rintaro? Just as I'm about to bring it crashing down on this infernal machine, a voice cries out. Kurisu grabs my arm and pulls me back. I lowered the chair slowly. Not because Kurisu told me to, but because I realized what would happen if I really did break the machine. It caused, or will cause, Mayuri's death. But at the same time, it is also my only chance of averting that future. If I lose it, I lose my only hope of saving her. The fear of their outcome stayed my hand. A lot is wrong. I can't deal with this. Not now. I flee from the lab. I don't have a particular destination in mind. People look at me strangely as I shuffle down the street. I imagine I must look like I crawled up from the grave. Soon, I get fed up with the crowd around the station and escape to the pedestrian overpass. I get about halfway across the bridge and squat down on the concrete. The giant screen on the UPX building is advertising some gothic punk band. The ticker at the bottom displays today's weather forecast along with the date and time. I realize that today is Friday the 13th. Oh, what a cursed day. Is there no way to get through today without Mayuri dying? It's already 5:30, 2 hours until the attack. The lights around Akihabara station turn on one by one as the sun sets. The moe might be gone from Akiba, but the area around the station is still as posh as ever. I don't belong here. The bridge I'm sitting on has become a date spot for couples. I see them standing here and there, gazing at the cityscape with their arms wound around each other. Somehow, they never seem to tire of the dull and changing scenery. What am I doing here? Mayuri is about to die. I lift my head and see Kurisu standing there.
No. クリスティーナ。
何よ。
今何時だ
5時38分。ねえ、そんなところでドキュン行為してる暇があったら 買い出し付き合いなさいよ。
Shopping. Oh, right. Preparations for the party. In the original timeline, I went shopping with Kariso at the OPX supermarket. And then we talked on this bridge, just like now. It feels like so long ago. Back then, I had no idea what was about to happen. Oh, those peaceful days.
どうなの？買い出し来るのか来ないのか。
I sigh deeply. I don't believe that it was wrong to time leap. However,
クリス、
I keep my eyes lowered.
初めてまともに名前呼んだな。
I feel her eyes on me.
助けてくれ。
I can't save my Yuri alone. I realize that now. Reliving today again and again, only to taste the same despair each time, has taught me one important lesson. Alone, I am powerless. Alone, I have no hope.
助けてくれ。
話して。あんたがタイムリープしたのは分かってる。
何？
I look up in surprise. I mean, it's written all over your face. The face of a person that has the power of reading Steiner. Carissa doesn't meet my stare. Instead, she leans on the guardrail and gazes down at the plaza with her usual frown. That and you were about to do that whole stunt with the chair. No person would have such hatred for a kitchen appliance unless you used it with despairful results.
あんたに誰かから電話がかかってきたと思ったらいきなり表変したから。私の目はごまかせない。
3時間後から来た。
何があった？
マユリが殺された。
I lower my head, trying to hold back the tears. Then I explain about CERN and Moeka, and about how Carissa herself activated the timely machine that made this possible. I tell her about my previous sleeps. I explain that the role itself wants my Yuri dead, that I can't save her no matter how I try. I keep talking for 30 minutes straight. During that time, Carissa hardly says a word.
すべて俺の責任だ。
Talking to Carissa lets me sort out everything I've done, everything I've seen.
セルンにハッキングしろなんてダルに頼まなければよかった。タイムマシーンを作ろうなんて言い出さなければよかった。モエカをラボメンになんかするんじゃなかった。マユリが死ぬのはすべて俺の責任なんだ。
And that's why I needed to bear the burden myself. I was resolved to do whatever it took to save my Yuri, never faltering, never giving up. And yet my resolve has already crumbled.
そんなまずいことが起きようとしてるのに、あんたはなんでここでぼんやりしてるの？
I mean, you tell me. If you can give us like any pointers to how to save my Yuri not only against CERN but against the universe, then we're all ears. Even though technically I don't have any ears myself. Yo! Carissa's tone is haughty. Is this how I sound when I'm playing Hoing Hyoma?
わからなくなったからだ。
わからないって何が？
マユリを助ける方法が。
あんたの話を聞いた限りじゃ、時間順序保護仮説は本当だったってことになるのかな。
何をしてもどうやってもマユリが死んでしまうんだ。
だからタイムリープを延々と繰り返したか。タイムリープマシンは理論上絶対安全だと証明されているわけじゃない。